today let us discuss the Gauss Seidel method. So by considering the PV buses also, right? So Gauss Seidel method with the consideration of PV buses. Now, as usual, let us take a power system network with n number of buses, right? So out of n number of buses, so first bus I is equal to 1. First bus will be considered as slack or swing bus. At the slack or swing bus, the magnitude of voltage and angle delta are specified. Now at this bus, you have to determine the P1 and Q1. So these two are the unknown variables. Okay. So now from second bus to bus M, so you assume that as voltage controlled buses or PV buses. Now at voltage controlled bus or PV bus, PI power injection, real power injection will be specified and magnitude of VI is specified, right? So along with QI minimum and QI maximum, right? Along with this PI and magnitude of VI, so reactive power injection minimum value and maximum value also will be specified at the PV buses, right? Now unknown variables are QI and delta I, which are to be calculated at the PV buses, right? So now let us from m plus 1 to n buses. So m plus 1 to n buses, let us assume these buses as PQ buses. So now at PQ bus, you will be specified PI and QI. So these two are known variables, and you have to determine magnitude of VI and delta I. So these two are unknown variables. Okay, right. So here we are considering an n bus system. So 1, 2, and so on. So in middle you have up to m, then from m plus 1 and so on n. So there are total number of buses 1 to n here. Okay, and the first bus is the slack bus, right? And second to m up to this bus, second bus to m buses. These buses are the PV buses, and from m plus 1 to n buses are the PQ buses. You have to consider like this. Okay. Now you discuss the Gauss Seidel method of power flow solution for these buses. Now considering the PV buses also. Now at the beginning of an iterative technique, a set of values for unknown quantities are chosen. Okay, so then these are to be updated at each iteration. Initially, in any iterative technique, you have to assume the some values for unknown variables. Then these variables are updated in the subsequent iterations. Okay, so this iteration process will be continued till error between the all unknown and the actual quantities is reduced to a below the specified limit. Okay, so till the error values are reduced below a specified limit, you have to do the iterations. Okay, next let us see the algorithm for Gauss Seidel method with the consideration of PV buses, right? So the first step here is that, so first step in the Gauss Seidel algorithm with the consideration of PV buses is, so with the given load profile, you have to determine the power injections at all the buses. Power injections PI and QI at all the buses you have to determine from the given load profile. Load profile means which is nothing but, so they will specify generation at ith bus, QGI at ith bus, demand PDI and QDI at ith bus. Now power injections are power injection, real power injection PI is equal to P generation at ith bus PGI minus P demand at ith bus. Okay, so difference of this is the injected power. Okay, so if they were given these load profile, generation and demand, so then you have to calculate the injected power into the bus, right? So which is the difference of generation minus demand. In the similar way, QGI also. So reactive power injected at the ith bus for PQI, not QGI. QI is equal to QGI, so minus QDI. So reactive power generation at the ith bus minus reactive power demand at ith bus. So this difference is the injected power into the bus, right? You have to determine PI and QI, so with the known load profile. Okay, this is the first step in Gauss Seidel method, right? And then the second step is that, so from you have to form the Y bus. So you have to determine the Y bus for the given network using the given line data. So in the problem, you will be given the line data. So from the line data, you have to find out the Y bus. This Y bus can be determined either by using the direct inspection method or by using singular transformation method. Okay, by using any one method, you have to determine the Y bus. Okay, so then after determining the Y bus, the next step is you have to set the unknown voltages at all the PQ buses. Okay, so at PQ buses, you will know the P and Q. P and Q will be specified, and unknown variables are magnitude of V and delta. So these unknown variables are set to 1 plus J0. That means this voltage. So magnitude of voltage and delta angle together if you represent, it will be a complex number, which is some voltage value, voltage magnitude at an angle delta this, right? So this voltage, which is a complex value, can be represented as 1 plus J0, right? So 1 plus J0, this is called the flat starter, right? 1 plus J0 can be written as 1 at an angle of 0 degrees. Okay, so that means the unknown two variables are the PQ buses. Magnitude of V is assumed to be 1 per unit and delta is assumed to be 0 degrees. Okay, in a similar way, unknown angles at the all PV buses are assumed to be 0 degrees. Now if you consider the PV buses, at PV bus, P value will be specified and magnitude of V also specified, and unknown variables are Q and delta. Okay, so now you have to set these unknown variables to 0 degrees. You have to take for all unknown angles at PV buses. Okay, right? During any iterative technique, first you have to set some values for unknown variables. Okay, at PV buses, voltages are set to 1 plus J0. At PQ bus, angles are set to 0 degrees, like this. So as I said before, all PQ buses are from M plus 1 to N. So from Vm plus 1 at 0 initially, it is set to 1 plus J0 up to Vn0. So then angles at all the PV buses, so delta 2, delta 3 up to delta M, they are set to 0 degrees. So this is called the flat start. Okay. So then after setting the some specific values to unknown variables, so then you have to start the iteration process. Okay, so now set the iteration count to 1. That means you have to start the first iteration and check for the type of the bus. So now in the previous class, that means in the previous class, you have developed the algorithm for load flow solution using Gauss Seidel method without considering the PV buses. In such a case, only slack bus and PQ bus, only these two will be there. So we are not considered the PV buses in the previous class. Now you have to consider the PV buses also, right? So now after setting the iteration count to 1, so then you have to check the type of the bus, whether the bus is PQ bus or PV bus. Okay, so if the bus is PQ bus, then go to the next step. So which is the fifth step. Or if it is PV bus, then go to the sixth step, and you eliminate the fifth step and directly go to the sixth step if it is a PV bus, right? So let us assume that your bus is PQ bus. So now if it is PQ bus, you have to calculate the voltages and angles, so as it was done in the previous class. Okay, so which is by using this equation. So Vi at r plus 1th iteration is equal to Ai by Vi at rth iteration of conjugate minus sigma k is equal to 1 to I minus 1 Vik into Vk r plus 1 minus sigma k is equal to I plus 1 to n Vik into Vk at the rth iteration. So this is the formula you have to use for determining the voltage at any bus during the r plus 1th iteration. Okay, if this r is equal to 0, so then Vi1, so Vi in the first iteration you will get like this. Okay, so now here this Aa is Pi minus Jqi by Yii, and this Bk is Bik is Yik by Yii. So now this was derived in the previous class as well. How you got this equation? So we were discussed in the last class itself, right? So you have to remember that equation. So when you substitute all the values, all the updated values, so in this equation, right hand side you have to use the most previously updated values. Okay, right. So if it is PV bus, then you have to do the fifth step. Sorry, PQ if it is PQ bus. Okay, but if it is PV bus, then you have to directly go to sixth step. You don't need to do the fifth step. Okay, so now let us consider your bus to be PV bus and go to the sixth step directly. Okay, here this is the sixth step, not fifth one. This is sixth one. Now in the sixth step, your considered bus is PV bus. So then at PV bus, power injection Vi and magnitude of Vi both will be specified.
ఇది మాకు మొన్నటిదాకా క్లాసెస్ లో ఉంటుండే
Along with the
క్లాసెస్
QI minimum and QI maximum. Now here you have to determine the QA delta I. Okay. Unmute చేసుకోండి. Okay, right, see here. So if the bus is PV bus, at PV bus PA and magnitude of VI will be specified along with the QI minimum and QI maximum, and you have to determine the QA and delta I. Okay, so you have to determine this QI and delta I, right? So let us determine these two in two steps. In the first step, you determine the QI. Okay, so now this QI is determined from the static load flow equation. So we derived the static load flow equations, right? From the static load flow equations, we know that QI is the reactive power injection at bus I is equal to minus imaginary part of this total term, which is Vi conjugate into sigma k is equal to 1 to n Yik Vk. Okay, so now if you use this equation, you will get the power injection at ith bus. Okay, so now, so if this equation is extended to r plus 1th iteration, so if you write the same equation, this equation for r plus 1th iteration, so then that equation will be QA at r plus 1th iteration is equal to minus imaginary part of Vi at rth iteration, right? So while calculating the QI, so in right hand side equation, you have to update the voltages to be most previously calculated values. Okay, you have to update the most previously calculated values. Okay, so qa in r plus 1th iteration is equal to minus imaginary part of vi at rth iteration. You are determining the qa at r plus 1th iteration. So voltage in the right hand side, what you have to take is the vir, that means the calculated value of voltage at rth iteration, right, into sigma k is equal to 1 to I minus 1. Okay, so here, so this the above equation is splitted, right? So here this expression is from k is equal to 1 to n, 1 to up to n, right? Okay, so now in the middle, let us, you have the ith bus. Okay, so now before this ith bus you have I minus 1 bus, right? So now from here to here you are doing first sum, which is from k is equal to 1 to I minus 1, same term yik into vk in r plus 1th iteration. Okay, so this vk is the r plus 1th iteration value you have to update here. Okay, so plus, so again vi conjugate, right, vi in rth iteration of conjugate into, then you have to take the buses from I to n, right? From I to n you have to again take some, right? Sigma k is equal to 1 to I to n yik vk. Here it is in rth iteration. Okay, so here up to I minus 1, the voltage you have to update is, so with the calculated value in the r plus 1th iteration. So here in the second expression, here this is rth iteration. Okay, so is this understood, ma? So once you respond, if you want to explain again, I will explain again. You respond me in chat box whether this equation is clear to you or not. If you are not clear, I will explain again. Okay, I will explain again with one example. So take there are 5 buses. Okay, so let us assume that there are 5 buses. So 1 to 5, 1 2 3 4 and 5 buses are there. Out of all these 5 buses, the first bus will be slack bus. Okay, now at slack bus you don't need to calculate any voltage. Okay, so from the second bus onwards you have to calculate. Okay, so now suppose these buses, if these buses are PV buses, let us assume that second bus and third bus is PV bus and fourth and fifth is PQ bus, right? So now at PV buses, second and 3, so at all these buses, so at PV bus they will be specified the magnitude of voltage, and you have to find out the angle delta. At PV bus they will be specified P and Q. Okay, so here P and V is specified, delta and Q you have to determine. So here PQ is specified, then magnitude of V and delta you have to determine. So now, so before you start the algorithm iteration process, so you have to assume some initial values for your unknown variables, right? So that means V2, V3, so V2, V3, these are the specified values. Why? Because 2, 3 are the PV buses, so specified values, so you no need to update them. So suppose if you take PQ bus, so this PQ bus at PQ bus voltage value is not specified, though then you have to consider it as 1 plus J0. Okay, this is at 4th bus. So if it is a 5th bus, V5 is a PQ bus also. Then your assumed value is again a flat set, which is V5 is equal to 1 plus 0. So these all are initial values. Okay, so that means before you start the iteration process, so these are the values. Now if you start the iteration process, so that means let us take the first iteration. If you start the first iteration, so then at PV buses you do not determine the V values, so these are fixed. So suppose if you consider the PQ buses, so then at PQ bus you have to determine V4, you have to update the V4 now. So that means V4 at first iteration you have to determine. Okay, so while calculating V4 at first iteration, you will use one equation. Okay, so in this equation, if there are any voltage term, you have to use these voltage. Previously updated values are these voltages. Okay, suppose next if you calculate the V5 in the first iteration. So when you calculate V5 in the first iteration, suppose in this expression you are getting V4 also. Let us assume that you are getting V4. So in such a case, this V4 value is not this one. You should not substitute this value. You have to always use the previously updated value. That means this V4 is updated in the first iteration here. So V5 ni calculate chese kante mundu V4 మనం already update చేశాం కాబట్టి so here this value here you have to use. Okay, so in the similar way, in this equation, if you observe this equation, okay, you are finding the QA in R plus 1 iteration. So there are n number of buses which are numbered with 1, 2, 3 and so on up to n buses are there, right? So in the middle, let us assume one ith bus. So now you are calculating the reactive power at ith bus. Okay, so now in such a case, so to how you can calculate this reactive power by using this load flow equation, which is minus imaginary part of VI conjugate into k is equal to 1 to n YIK VK. Okay, so now so this expression, let's say right hand side, this summation expression can be split into two equations. So how? So from 1 to n plus 1, sorry I minus 1, 1 to I minus 1, once you do the sum, so then I to n again you do the sum. Okay, your k values are from 1 to n, right? So from 1 to I minus 1 up to this, up to you this, once you sum the all the terms of YIK VK, so this is this one. Okay, sigma k is equal to 1 to I minus 1 YIK VK R plus 1. So now this is the R plus 1 iterations you are doing. In R plus 1 iteration you are doing. So at ith bus you are calculating. So before ith bus there are the buses I minus 1, right? So before this you are having 1, 2, 3 all these, right? Now from 1 to I minus 1 buses, these if you at all these you are already updated the QI value, and the similar way V also V voltage also you are updated, right? In such a case, so ఇది మొత్తం R plus 1 iteration కి వస్తుందమ్మా. In R plus 1 iteration, if you write for first bus, so then once you will calculate it will be updated. So for the second bus you will calculate and it is updated. Like this you are going to write for R plus 1 iteration. Okay, so during this case here which value you have to update? So if the k is from 1 to I minus 1, అంటే I కన్నా ముందున్న కాంపోనెంట్స్ అన్ని 1 to up to I minus 1, all values are updated in the same iteration only, right? So next I plus 1 తీసుకున్నాం అనుకోండి. After I, so you are updating the I values from, you are not updated I to n values. Okay, so here you have to use the previous iteration values. So previous iteration is rth iteration. Okay, like this you are using the same expression, so but you are splitting the summation into two terms, right? So the first term includes the previous values, second term includes the next values, right? So next values are still not updated, previous values are still already updated, so you have to use the updated values, right? So in the r plus 1th iteration, you are already calculated the v1 v2 up to v I minus 1. Okay, so from I to n you are not yet calculated, so updated value you have to use. So what you have to, up to from I to k is equal to 1 to I minus 1, you have to use the same iteration values, but from I to n you have to use the previous iteration values. So that is what you have to observe here. Okay, this one up to 1 to I minus 1, you have to substitute the voltage values in the same iteration. You are writing for r plus 1, so these voltages are also in the same iteration, but from I to n it is previous iteration, rth iteration values. Okay, this is what I want to say. Okay, so then after finding the qi, so then you have to check whether this calculated qi is within our specified limits or not. Okay, right, at PV buses along with this PI and VI, Q minimum and QI minimum and QI maximum values, these two also will be specified, minimum and maximum values are specified. Now after calculating this QI value, you have to check whether this calculated value is within these limits or not. Okay, right, go to the next one. Now check whether QI calculated is within the specified limits or not. If it is within limits, then go to the step 2 directly, else do as described below. Suppose if the limits, if your calculated value is within limits, so then you no need to calculate the remaining thing here. Okay, you can directly go to the step 2 without checking these. So these are no need to calculate when your QA limits are within limits. Suppose these are not within limits, then you have to do this procedure and you have to skip the second step. Okay, right, let us assume that your QI limits, QI calculated is not within the limits, right? If it is not within the limits, now you have to check this QI r plus 1th iteration value, is it less than the minimum value? If it is less than the minimum value, right, so then you have to set the this QI in the r plus 1th iteration is equal to QI minimum and treat the ith bus as a PQ bus. Okay, so now your ith bus is, by considering ith bus is a PV bus, initially you calculated the QI. Okay, so now if this QI is not within the limits, right, the limits given are QI minimum value is given. Okay, so in a similar way maximum value is given, QI maximum, right? So now if this calculated QI at ith bus is less than this QI minimum, so less than this QI minimum, so then what you have to do is you have to set this QI value to this minimum value. Okay, so then you have to treat that PV bus as PQ bus. So then you have to proceed the calculation as like in PQ bus. Okay, so suppose if it is greater than QI maximum value కంటే ఎక్కువ అయింది అనుకోండి, So then you have to set the QI value to equal to QI maximum value. So then again you have to consider it as the PQ bus. Okay. So then as usual, PQ bus, how you do the calculation, you have to do in the similar way. So you have to compute the AI constant AI in r plus 1th iteration and VI in r plus 1th iteration by using these two equations. So AI in r plus 1th iteration is PI minus JQI in r plus 1th iteration by YII. Okay. So ఇక్కడ Q అనేది మీరు r plus 1th iteration క్యాలిక్యులేట్ చేశాం, right? This is updated value you have to use here. Okay. So then voltage you have to find out. So actually it is PV bus. So but the Q limits are not within the limits. Okay. When the Q limits are not within the limits, so then this value is set to do one of the limits. If it is less than the QI minimum, you have to set Q is equal to QI minimum. If it is greater than QI minimum, then you have to set QI value is equal to QA maximum value. So then you have to find out, then you have to treat it as a PV bus, PQ bus instead of PV bus. So when you treat the PQ bus, it is PQ bus. So then what you have to determine, voltage you have to calculate. Okay. So that voltage is calculated by using this expression. In r plus 1th iteration, VI r plus 1 is equal to AI by VI at rth iteration conjugate minus sigma k is equal to 1 to I minus 1 VIK into VK r plus 1 minus sigma k is equal to I plus 1 to n VIK VK in rth iteration. By using this expression, you have to determine the voltage at that particular bus. Okay. Right. So this total, you have to do only if your QI calculated value is not within the limits. Okay. If it is not within the limits, then you do this procedure. So suppose if your QI calculated value is within the limits, so the limits lopale unda anukondi, so then you no need to calculate these all values. So you have to directly go to the step 2 where you will calculate the angle. Okay. So now let us assume that suppose if your calculated value is within limits, then directly go to the step 2. So this is step 2 is the calculation of your delta angle. Okay, at the ith bus. Right. So the revised value of delta I. So delta I, how you can get delta I? Suppose if you calculate the voltage, so voltage, so which is a complex number like A plus JB, right? So if you convert this complex number into polar form, you will get magnitude of voltage at an angle delta. Okay. So you have to use the voltage equation to calculate the angle delta. Okay. So this angle delta in r plus 1th iteration is equal to angle of your VI r plus 1. Okay. Angle of this VI r plus 1 is this expression. Okay. You have to use this expression to calculate the VI, right? So now you have to convert that into polar form, and the angle of that equation is your delta I in r plus 1th iteration. Okay. So now here this AI r plus 1 is PI minus JQI in r plus 1 by YII. So this is the algorithm for Gauss Seidel method with the consideration of PV buses along with the PQ bus. Okay. So is there any doubts? Right. Let us see the flow chart. So flow chart for Gauss Seidel method. So in general, with having PV buses, without having PV buses, it will be the same flow chart you have to draw. Okay. So now, how you proceed proceed the Gauss Seidel method? First step is you have to read the data. So the given data you have to read, right? The given data are primitive Y matrix. Okay. So primitive Y matrix, what you will get from this primitive Y matrix? So primitive Y matrix, this will give you the values for your transmission lines. So this is a matrix which is having the values of your transmission lines as its diagonal elements. So if there is mutual impedance, it will be represented with half diagonal element, right? So now you should have the bus incidence matrix. So then bus incidence matrix. This bus incidence matrix will give you the information about how these transmission lines are connected. So that means particular transmission line is connected between which bus and which bus. That information will be known from this incidence matrix. Okay. So then the given data is again at a slack bus, magnitude of voltage and delta angle. These two are given. Okay, you have to read that value. And real powers PI for all the buses I to n. Okay, if it is a n bus system, out of which first bus is slack bus and second to m are PV buses and m plus 1 to n. So these are PQ buses. So now if you observe second bus to n bus, in P value is specified here at all the buses second to n. So the real powers PI for all the buses you have to read, and reactive powers QI for only PQ buses. So reactive power will be specified only for PQ buses. These PQ buses are from m plus 1 to n. So I is equal to m plus 1 to n buses. You will be specified the QI value. So that QI value you have to read. And voltage magnitudes. So these voltage magnitudes are specified for PV buses. So PV buses are from m 2 to m. So I is equal to 2 to m. You have to read the magnitude of voltage VI specified. So then voltage magnitude limits VI minimum and VI maximum for PQ buses you have to read. Okay. So the at PQ buses you will calculate the voltage, right? Magnitude of voltage and delta you will calculate. So but what should be the magnitude of voltage? So that magnitude of voltage should be within some limits. So if they were given the limits, so those limits also you have to read. Okay. So then reactive power limits. If it is a PV bus, along with the P and V, Q minimum and Q maximum, those also will be specified. So you have to read what is the minimum value and what is the maximum value. So this is the entire data what you read first. So if you want to calculate the load flow solution of a given network, okay. So now first you have to read the information, given data you have to read. So those data is all these. Okay. Now after reading the data, so then what you have to do? You have to form the Y bus. Okay. You have to form the Y bus. So this Y bus will be determined either by using direct inspection method or by using singular transformation method. Okay. So after determining Y bus, the next one is you have to make some initial assumptions. Okay. You have to make some initial assumptions. So these initial assumptions are VI naught. So VI naught for all PQ buses. Okay. So PQ buses are from I is equal to m plus 1 to n. Right. So for all PQ buses, you have to make some initial assumption which is VI naught. Right. So these values are generally equal to flat start 1 plus J0. Right. And angles for PV buses, delta I naught to delta I naught, which represents the, here I is the 2 to m. That means delta 2 naught, delta 3 naught, delta 4 naught up to delta m naught. So these all are these all you have to assume. So generally this delta will be set to 0 degrees. Okay. In simply saying, you have to make some initial assumption such that all PQ buses will be specified the voltage, initial voltage, and all PV buses will be specified delta angle. Okay. So then after making the assumption, initial assumptions, then you have to compute the parameters AI and BIK. So now in your voltage equation, you are getting these two terms, AI and BIK. So AI is from buses m plus 1 to n, BIK for I is equal to 1 to n. Okay. and k is for 1 to n except k is equal to I. Okay, and this ai and bik expressions are given here. A is equal to pi minus jqi by yii, bik is equal to yik by yii. So you compute these terms. So these two terms are constant throughout. Okay, so now as these two terms are constant throughout the expressions, because of that reason you will initially calculate them. Okay, once if you calculate, these values are fixed. Okay, after making some initial assumption, you have to determine ai and bik, right? Then next you have to set the iteration count to r to 0, right? Okay, that means you have to start the iteration next. Okay, first set to iteration count to 0. So then after setting the iteration count to 0, right, the next step is set the bus count. So bus count to I is equal to 2 and change in delta max, right? Change in delta max to 0. That means voltage change in delta max is nothing but, so this is the difference in voltage from next iteration to previous iteration. Two subsequent iterations, change in value how much, so that should be specified. That means this will give you the limit for this your voltage. Okay, set bus count I to I is equal to 1 to 2, sorry, not 1 to 2, bus I is equal to 2. So why? Because first bus is the slack bus. At slack bus you will not determine any voltage. So from the second bus onwards you will determine the voltage. So you have to start from I is equal to 2, not I is equal to 1. So you have to set I is equal to 2. At second bus you have to start the iteration process. Right now if you consider the second bus, now you test for the type of the bus. Now whether the second bus is PQ bus or PV bus. Suppose it is PQ bus. If it is PQ bus, so then you have to calculate the voltage and angle, right? So that you have the voltage expression, right? So that voltage expression, so by using that voltage expression you have to calculate the values. Okay, right? So you have to compute the vi r plus 1. So that means r is first set to 0 kada. So vi 1 you will get, vi in the first iteration you will get. Okay, that vi r plus 1, that value is, so what is the expression here? Actually this one without angle. So this total term, so this one is vi vi at r plus 1 iteration. Okay, so by using this expression you have to compute the vi in r plus 1 iteration. Okay, so then replace vir with vir plus 1. Okay, so next step is vir is replaced by vir plus 1. That means you are updating the iteration value. Okay, suppose if your r is equal to 0, so that means vi0 you will calculate. So vi0 you will assume, and next in the first iteration you will calculate the vi1. So that means you are updating the this vi0. So then in such a case you have to replace this vi0 with vi1. That is what we are saying here. So replace the previous iteration vir with currently determined iteration voltage vir plus 1, and then advance the bus count to I to I plus 1. That means if your second bus is PQ bus, so then you have to compute directly this voltage magnitude. So from this voltage equation, so from this voltage equation you will get the magnitude of voltage and delta, right? So then after calculating the voltage, you have to replace that voltage value from the previous iteration to present iteration, and you have to go for the next bus, which is third bus. That means bus count has to you have to increase. I అనేది ఫస్ట్ ఇంతకుముందు ఫస్ట్ టైం అనుకున్నాం 2 అనుకున్నాం, I plus 1 means next 3 అవుతుంది, right? You have to increase the bus count. Okay, right? So then after increasing the bus count you have to go for again this step, test for what? Test for type of the bus again. Okay, so from this again you will go to here. Okay, so that means third bus, after incrementing the bus number from second to third, so now you have to check for again type of the bus, so whether the third bus is PQ bus or PV bus. Suppose if your third bus is PV bus, if it is not PQ bus, if it is PV bus, then at PV buses you have to determine the QI value and delta I value. So these two you have to determine. So now QI in R plus 1th iteration you have to compute. Okay, if it is PV bus, you have to determine the QI value by using the expression QI R plus 1. That QI R plus 1 expression is this one. QI R plus 1 is equal to minus imaginary part of VI in previous rth iteration into sigma k is equal to 1 to I minus 1 YIK VK in R YIK VK R plus 1th iteration plus VI in rth iteration into sigma k is equal to I to N YIK VKR. So by using this expression, you have to calculate the QI, reactive power QI at ith bus during the iteration R plus 1, right? So initially we were set it to iteration count to 0. So you will get QI 1, you will get first. Okay, QI 1 you will get. Right now, after calculating the QI value, now you have to check for the limits. Is your QI R plus 1 value is less than or equal to QI maximum value? Okay, so maximum, so if that means QI is less than the maximum value, so then you have to go to this step. If it is less than maximum value, so then you have to check for the minimum value. Okay, if it is QI R plus 1 is less than the maximum value, so then you check for whether it is greater than minimum value or not, right? Then another condition, QI R plus 1 is it greater than or equal to QI minimum value. So that means if you check these two, you will get whether your QI calculated value is within limits or not. If it is within limits, then you will get, you have to compute the AI R plus 1. So which is this AI R plus 1 expression is given this one. So by using this, you will calculate the AI R plus 1. So then compute the delta I at R plus 1 iteration by using this expression, angle of this total term, right? Angle of this total term you will give a delta I at R plus 1 iteration, and VA at R plus 1 iteration also. VAR, if you calculate this, VA at R plus 1 iteration, VA is specified at an angle delta I R plus 1 iteration, you will get. Okay, if it is within the limits, suppose if it is not the limits, so then you have to go for C. Suppose if it is greater than the QI maximum value, okay, if this condition is not satisfied here, so is this QI R plus 1 is less than or equal to QI maximum, so that means QI calculated value is less than the maximum value set. Yes, I think you have to check for this. So no, if it is no, so that means QI R plus 1 is greater than the maximum value. If it is greater than the maximum value, then you have to replace this QI R plus 1 as your QI maximum value. Okay, so that means suppose Chudanama. So 2 less than Q less than 5 ఇలా లిమిట్స్ ఇచ్చారు అనుకోండి. సపోజ్ ద లిమిట్స్ ఆర్ గివెన్ లైక్ దిస్ ఫర్ QI. So that means the QI value calculated must be between 2 and 5. Suppose if your calculated value QI is greater than 5 ఉన్నది అనుకోండి, right? Suppose if your calculated value QI what you got here is 7. Suppose if it is greater than 7, in such a case your limits are exceeded no. So in such a case what you have to do here is that you have to replace the QI calculated value which as its maximum value, which is equal to 5. Okay, you have to replace the, suppose if it is less than this 2, that means QA is equal to 1 వచ్చింది అనుకోండి. Suppose if your calculated value is QA is equal to 1, which is less than your limit. In such a case, you have to set this QA value to minimum value, which is equal to 2. Okay, so minimum QA calculated value అనేది minimum value కంటే తక్కువ ఉంటే you have to set that value again to minimum value. Maximum value కంటే ఎక్కువ ఉంటే you have to set QA value to the maximum value. So then in between with these two steps, okay, when you replace the QA with either maximum value or minimum value, you have to treat the bus as a PQ bus instead of PV bus. Okay, if you replace the QA R plus 1 by QA maximum, then you have to treat that bus as PQ bus. So then when it is PQ bus, how you will calculate the AA will be calculated and VI R plus 1 will be calculated as like in PV bus. Okay, right, if it is PV bus, PQ bus అనుకోండి డైరెక్ట్ ఏం చేసాం, VI R plus 1 you are calculated, right? So that is only you are doing. So if it is not within the limits, you have to set the QA value to that limit value. So then you have to compute the voltage directly as like in PV bus, sorry, PQ bus. So here also in the same, if it is not within the limit, if QA R plus 1 is less than the minimum value, replace that QA R plus 1 with equal to the minimum value. So then compute this AA and VI R plus 1 you have to calculate. So like this you will get the voltages at the bus I, right? So now these voltages are replaced. You have to replace the VIR with the updated value VIR plus 1 and you have to advance the bus count to next bus. Okay, and the third bus అయిపోయింది, next fourth bus you have to check. Like this you will do the procedure. So if it is the PQ bus, you have to come like this. If it is PV bus, you have to come in this way. Okay, right, like that the voltage at all the buses you will be calculated in the first iteration. Okay, now after completing the first iteration, then you will go to the next iteration. Okay, after replacing this, now you have to check the condition here. Is your I is less than or equal to n? So that means what it means, n is the number of buses, I is your present bus. So this bus ప్రతి బస్ దగ్గర మీరు కనుక్కుంటారు కదా, suppose this I value is equal to n అయింది అనుకోండి, right? So if it is equal to n, so that means you are calculated the all values of voltages at all the buses in the first iteration. Okay, so then you have to check whether your calculated voltage value is within the specified limits or not, right? So if it is within the specified limit, so then you have to compute the slack bus power PI plus JQA and you have to calculate the line flows. Okay, if it is not within the limits, then you have to go for another iteration. Okay, so like this you will do the load flow calculations by using Gauss-Seidel method. Okay, with this algorithm flowchart for Gauss-Seidel method is over. Now in the next class we will discuss the problems. Okay, so till now you have any doubts?